Sir, you can start.
हाँ ठीक है. Friends, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to Arifin. This is another Sunday fine morning. I welcome you all to this session of current affairs. I hope you are all fine. I hope you are all doing well. So, friends, let us begin the session. So, let me tell you what are the agendas today. आज के दो important agendas हैं. Number one, we will discuss about all the first in the world. Okay, first in the sense, uh, किस इंसान ने पहले कौन सी अचीवमेंट हासिल की थी. Okay, first women in some field, first men in certain fields. Okay, that will be our agenda number one. Next agenda will be about the current affairs of November last week. All right, of course, last week पूरा खत्म नहीं हुआ है, फिर भी up to 29 whatever current affairs is there, we will talk about all of them. All right, so friends, without wasting much time, let me just share the things with you. Let us first start with the first in the world. Okay, so friends, as you can see now, this is that material. All right, so let's talk about the first in the world. All right, so friends, let us begin. Let us begin with this one. As you can see, the first person, as you can know, see in this material we are not going to be a great detail. All right, we'll not talk about in detail. I'll just simply guide you these things. ये सारी चीजें आपको पता होंगी कुछ, लेकिन मैं आपको इसके अलग अलग डायमेंशंस के बारे में बताऊंगा. जैसे कि यू सी द फर्स्ट वन, सपोज वी टॉक अबाउट फ्रेडरिक कुक. Who is this person? Frederick Cook. Now he is the first person believed to have gone to the North Pole. Okay, the first person who reached the North Pole. Here we will talk about two important people. Suppose this is a virtual world image. Okay, so we have a North Pole and we have a South Pole. All right, friends. When we talk about North and South Pole, remember there are some two three kinds of North Poles and South Poles. One is a geographical North Pole and South Pole, right? Another one is this gravitational North Pole and South Pole, in the sense magnetic North Pole and South Pole. All right, and there is another original North Pole and South Pole. But we talk about this North Pole, which is actually the geographical North. All right, so North Pole को पहला इंसान जो पहुंचा था, he was Frederick Cook. He was there in the year 1908. All right, uh, same person associated with the same topic. Okay, he was Roland Engelbrett and Graving Amundsen. Okay, so this reached reached the South Pole in 1911. Okay, so you need to understand these are two people uh, who they reached the North Pole and South Pole. अच्छा, यहाँ पर हम लोग इनकी बात क्यों कर रहे हैं? Why we are talking about these people? Why? Because reaching North Pole and South Pole in those days, in 1911, 1908, it was quite difficult. Okay, because these are extreme places of Earth. मतलब इन पृथ्वी के ये जो है एक्सट्रीम प्लेसेस हैं, इन द सेंस कि दिस इज एक्चुअली अ फ्रिजिड जोन. यहाँ पर पानी जो है इट इज मोस्टली कन्वर्टेड इनटू आइस एंड द टेम्परेचर इज रियली वेरी हार्श. बहुत ही नेगेटिव टेम्परेचर होता है, यहाँ पर जाके सर्वाइव करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है. ऑलराइट, so these are about two people. Next we talk about Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. I hope friends you must have heard about these names. Okay, in 1953 they were the first in the world to climb the Mount Everest. इनका नाम आपको पता है. Next, George Washington. He was the first president of USA. Friends, जैसे मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, ये सारे नाम नए नहीं है हमारे लिए. These are not new names for us. Okay, but the thing is that ऐसे क्वेश्चन कभी कभी एग्जाम में पूछ लेते हैं जो आपको एग्जाम में बड़ा कंफ्यूजन में डाल देता है. ऑलराइट, सो जॉर्ज वॉशिंगटन, रिमेंबर, he was the first person to become the president of USA in 1789. All right, next, yes, Robert Walpole in 1721 was the first prime minister of the Great Britain. Okay, remember the first PM of Great Britain. Why we are talking about Britain? Why? Because this country, at one point of time, it was the colony. It made several colonies throughout the world. Okay. Next, uh, Trigib Lai is the first सेक्रेटरी जनरल ऑफ यूनाइटेड नेशंस. ओके, तो ये क्वेश्चन कभी ना कभी आपको जाके आगे हेल्प करेंगे. आई थॉट दिस टू बी अ वेरी रिलेवेंट टॉपिक, दैट्स व्हाई आई चूज्ड इट दिस टाइम. ऑलराइट, द नेक्स्ट पेज वी कैन सी some other people like yes. एंड फ्रेंड्स, ये जो मटेरियल मैं अभी डिस्कस करवा रहा हूँ, इसमें से सारे कुछ क्वेश्चन आते नहीं है, लेकिन ये आ नहीं सकते ऐसा मैं नहीं बोल सकता. Okay, means there are some questions which are repeatedly asked, like who was the first person to reach to the Everest, South Pole. Okay, लेकिन बहुत ही कुछ क्वेश्चन ऐसे हैं जो रिपीट नहीं होते हैं लेकिन आने के चांसेस हैं. ऑलराइट, द फर्स्ट मैन हु ड्रू द मैप ऑफ द अर्थ. ओके, नाउ व्हेन आई से द आर्ट ऑफ मैप मेकिंग, व्हाट इज दैट? इट इज कॉल्ड कार्टोग्राफी. इट इज कॉल्ड कार्टोग्राफी. ऑलराइट, सो ये क्वेश्चन एक बार कभी ना कभी एग्जाम में आया है. व्हाट इज द art of drawing map? That is called cartography. So first cartographer on the in the world was Anaximander. Okay, so he was the first person who drew the map of the earth. All right, the first male tourist who traveled the space, he was Dennis Anthony Tito in 2001. Very important question, right? We'll do the same for the female side as well. Okay, who was the first female space tourist? So this is another question. अच्छा, ये जो नेक्स्ट वाला इशू मैं अभी बता रहा हूँ, ये बार बार पूछा गया है. यूरी गागारिन, he was the first human to journey into the outer space. Okay, in 1961 Yuri Gagarin was the first person to journey into the outer space. All right, next, Faxian. Faxian was the first Chinese pilgrim who traveled to India. Okay, from historical point of view, ये क्वेश्चन बार बार पूछा जाता है कि हु वाज द फर्स्ट फाहिन विजिटेड ड्यूरिंग हुज टेन्योर, और हुज किंग कोर्ट, किस किंग के कोर्ट में फाहिन थे, ह्यूएन सांग थे. ओके, हु इज कॉल्ड द प्रिंस ऑफ पिलग्रिम्स. ओके, तो ये सारे क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं. सो प्लीज कीप इट इन माइंड दैट वाज द फर्स्ट चाइनीज टू ट्रैवल इंडिया वाज फैक्सियन. एंड फ्रेंड्स, देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन, why these Chinese pilgrims or travelers came to India? Was that they wanted to know about the king's administration, या कुछ लेने के लिए आते थे क्या, प्लंडर करने के लिए? नहीं, they wanted to discover the land of Buddha, right? As these people were mostly Buddhist, so they wanted to discover the land of Buddha. मतलब बुद्धा अगर इतने अच्छे थे तो वो जहाँ पर पैदा हुए थे वो जगह कितनी अच्छी होगी. So they wanted to discover this landmass. All right. Yes, Abhiram, good morning. I saw it right now. Okay. Yes, yes. Okay. So these are Buddhist travelers. Why they came to India? They wanted to discover India. Okay, they resided in India for many years. Hmm. So who is called Prince of Pilgrims? ये question बड़ा important है. Right. Next. Next, we'll talk about Marco Polo. Marco Polo was the first European who visited India. Okay. Marco Polo was the first European who visited India. Remember? All right. The first person who circumnavigated the earth. देखिए यहाँ पर ये थोड़ा information half है. It is completed here. All right. Who circumnavigated the earth? Who was the first person to circumnavigate the earth? Right. What was his name? इस नाम को अच्छे से देखिएगा. Right. What is the name? It is Ferdinand Magellan. Okay. It was Magellan who circumnavigated the earth. Circumnavigated का मतलब क्या होता है? That means अर्थ का एक पूरा चक्कर लगा के आना. ऑलराइट, तो अर्थ का एक पूरा चक्कर लगा के आना उसको बोलते हैं सर्क्यूमनेविगेशन. ऑलराइट, नेक्स्ट, द फर्स्ट यूएस प्रेसिडेंट हु विजिटेड इंडिया. ऑलराइट, इन 1959 it is a tradition that US presidents they have visited India. Earlier it was Barack Obama who visited India, Donald Trump also visited India. Okay, Bill Clinton also visited India. Right, so we have a tradition of good relationship with that country. First president who visited India, he was Dwight D. Eisenhower. Next, the first person who landed on moon. ये क्वेश्चन हमको इसका आंसर पता है. राइट. मार्को पोलो was a European traveler. Okay, Abhiram, Marco Polo was a European traveler who visited India. Okay, so Neil Alden Armstrong. Neil Armstrong, in short, we know it. So it was in 1969 when Neil Armstrong visited. He landed on the moon. All right. अच्छा, अभी हम लोग जो देखेंगे that topic will be first women in the world. Okay, first women in the world. So the first women prime minister of England. Friends, remember this thing. A very important question. Okay, the first lady prime minister of UK was Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher. All right. So it was Margaret Thatcher. So there is a concept called Thatchism. Thatchis, pardon me, Thatchism. Thatchism. What is Thatchism? All right. Thatchism is basically the economic policy pro- proposed by the Prime Minister of UK, that is Margaret Thatcher. Okay. If Margaret Thatcher was the first lady Prime Minister, then who was the second lady Prime Minister of UK? Okay. Please have a search. Now, who was the first women Prime Minister of a country? दुनिया में पहली women Prime Minister कौन बनी? Right. It was in 1960 when she became the Prime Minister, Sirima Ratwate Dias Bhandara Naike. Okay. So she was the first women prime minister in any country in the world. Okay. First woman who climbed Mount Everest, अब इनका नाम तो पता होगा, right? जुनको ताबेई, लेकिन हमारे इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट से हम लोग कुछ और देखते हैं, right? She was Bachendri Pal. Okay, Bachendri Pal was the first lady uh, to have peaked Mount Everest. Okay. Next, first woman who reached Antarctica. She was Caroline Michelson in 1935. Okay. Next, the first female space tourist. A female space tourist in the sense she had nothing to do with space science and all. She was not a scientist. But even though a general person, she was able to reach to the space. कौन है? Anoshe Ansari. She was the first women space tourist. All right. Being a layman, she was able to travel space. Okay, next. First woman who swam across the sea channels of 5 continents. Okay, see, we have different continents. Namely, how many continents are there? Namely, 7 continents are there. All right, so ये 7 continents में कम से कम 5 continent के जो sea channels हैं, like we have the Bosphorus Strait, we have the Dardanelles Strait, we have the next we have yes, Strait of Gibraltar. Okay, so similar straits. ऐसे स्ट्रेट्स वगैरह को इन्होंने क्या किया है, क्रॉस किया हुआ है, राइट? शी वाज बुला चौधरी. यू सी दिस लेडी, शी वाज एबल टू क्रॉस 5 different straits in 5 different continents. Next, first woman IPS officer in India and appointed as a civilian police advisor of the United Nations. You know the name, it's Kiran Bedi. Next, first woman who received a Nobel Prize. First woman who received a Nobel Prize. She received the Nobel Prize 2 times, and her daughter, Irene Joliot-Curie, also won Nobel Prize in chemistry. Okay, so she was Marie Curie of Poland. So in 1903 in physics, 1911 for chemistry. Okay, in the field of science, she got Nobel Prizes. All right. So this is the end of the first part. All right. So let's talk about the current affairs aspect as well. So that will complete our discussion for the day. Okay. So this will be November 4th week. All right. Yes. Let's start with question number 1. Okay. So please keep your notes with you. Please keep your notes with you. जो नए क्वेश्चन मैं आपको बुलाऊंगा वो थोड़ा आप नोट करते जाइएगा. ऑल राइट. तो चलिए, what is the theme of World Children's Day 2020? Okay, in November 14 we observe the Children's Day. That's true. But what is the theme of it? अब इसका थीम क्या था? 4 ऑप्शंस हैं आपके सामने. You can see it. Investing in our future means investing in our children and so and so. Okay, so what is the theme? What was the theme of it? Yes, this was the theme. You see, investing in our future means investing in our children. So this was the theme of World Children's National Children's World Children's Day. Pardon me, World Children's Day. All right. So this was the theme. And pardon me for information. World Children's Day is observed on November 20. Okay, in national in India we celebrated on November 14, but in world it is celebrated on November 20. Okay, pardon me for that. Next, who was the National Newborn Care Week? When was National Newborn Care Week 2020 celebrated? ओके, न्यूबॉर्न केयर मतलब क्या, जो नए नवजात शिशु होते हैं उनका उनको केयर देने का वीक. ओके, so it is from 15th to 21st November. This is from 15th to 21st November. Friends, we are discussing the fourth week of November. All right, so keep that in mind. So it is from 15th to 21st of November when National Newborn Care Week is celebrated. Okay, now you have to know what is the meaning of two terms, that is called stunting. What is the meaning of stunting? That's number one. And number two, what is the meaning of wasting? Wasting and stunting in terms of newborn care. Okay, so please make a note of it and try to understand it. What are these two terms? Stunting and wasting. ये दो term क्या होते हैं? Next one. Who of the following has been conferred with Vatayan Lifetime Achievement Award? So you have four options here. Vatayan Lifetime Achievement Award. And what is the answer? It is Ramesh पोखरियाल निशांक. ओके, ये रमेश पोखरियाल निशांक जो है ये कौन से मिनिस्टर अभी हैं? व्हाट डू यू थिंक? रमेश पोखरियाल निशांक इज द यूनियन एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर. Okay, he is the union education minister, remember. Next, 30th edition of Corpat that took place from November 18 to 20 was held between the navies of India and which country? See friends, if you know the full form then you can get the answer. Okay, ये Corpat का full form क्या है? Corpat, right? Coordinated Patrol Exercise. Okay, so it is an India-Thailand coordinated patrol exercise. So you know the answer, right? It is between India and Thailand. Okay, so Corpat stands for Corpat stands for, yes, Abhiram, you are correct. Ramesh Singh Pokhriyal is the education minister. Yes, Corpat is between India and Thailand. Remember. Okay, now if you remember, Thailand has a historical link with India. Okay, so take it as a homework. What is the historical link of India and Thailand? How they are historically connected? You go to those medieval India period when Indian rulers they traveled to Thailand and they set up their dynasties there. Okay, so there were certain famous dynasties. One of them was the one of the dynasties there, right? That was flourishing in Thailand. Okay, so you just get a hold of that. I think it was the I'm not recollecting it. All right, I'll get it later. How much loan amount has been approved by Asian Development Bank to improve operational efficiencies and resource planning and management in West Bengal? Okay, so ADB has granted how much amount of loan to the government of West Bengal? All right, I hope you may be you must be remembering what are the details of this Asian Development Bank. Where is the headquarter of ADB, when it was established? So let's talk about how much amount has been granted. Okay, so it is 50 million. It is 50 million US dollars जो कि वेस्ट बंगाल को ग्रांट किया गया है. Alright, see the next question. India has become the fourth country in the world to have its independent regional navigation satellite system. Friends, in our classes we have time and again discussed about this Indian regional navigation satellite system. The acronym goes like this: IRNSS. Okay, Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System. Okay, recognized by International Maritime Organization. Okay, with it, India joined the economies of US, Russia, and which country? Right. So India has become the fourth country in the world to have its own independent navigation satellite system. Earlier, friends, we were dependent upon this GPS, geographical positioning system, that is owned by USA to navigate certain places, to navigate a particular area, right? Now we have our own navigation system, that is IRNSS. All right, with this you take one another homework, that is NAVIC. Friends, what is NAVIC, right? So what is NAVIC? And India in this line has joined with which countries? Okay, it became fourth country to do be a part of it. So it is China. All right. So how many countries have their own navigation satellite system? So it is US, Russia, China, and finally it is India. All right. So remember these four countries: US, Russia, China, and India. So these have their own navigation system. तो एक बार अगर हो सकता है तो इन कंट्रीज के जो नेविगेशन सिस्टम है इनके बारे में भी सर्च कर लेना. जैसे यूएसए का मैंने बोला क्या, यूएसए का बोला इट इज जीपीएस. फॉर इंडिया, for India, it is IRNSS और नाभिक, राइट, नाभिक. तो रशिया और चाइना का नेविगेशन सिस्टम का नाम क्या है? ऑलराइट, सो प्लीज हैव ए सर्च. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. Now, which company has launched ESG Opportunities Fund, which will be managed by Harsha Upadhyay? Simple सा banking awareness का question है, even though you can also face in the examination, right? So answer is Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company. Okay, it is Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company. Next question is, see, which country has announced to ban the sale of new petrol and diesel cars in 2030 before beginning new hybrid sales in 2035? All right. Which country has announced to ban the sale of new petrol and diesel cars before 2030 before beginning new hybrid sales in 2035? Means ये question क्या है ये? Means by 2030 which company will stop production of petrol and diesel vehicles and it will enter into hybrid vehicles, in the sense electric vehicles. वो 2035 से क्या करेगा? इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स बनाना चालू करेगा. इट विल स्टॉप प्रोड्यूसिंग petrol and diesel powered vehicles. Okay, so which company is it? Of course, which country is it? Alright, तो उस country में फिर hybrid vehicles ही बनेंगी. Now this country is United Kingdom. Remember, it's a very crucial question. मतलब this is called transition from fossil fuel से transition करके ये लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? Renewable energy के तरफ आ रहे हैं. That's a very good step. Okay. Now, which university has presented the Doctor of Science honorary doctorate upon ISRO chairman K Sivan? तो के सिवान को कौन से यूनिवर्सिटी से डॉक्टरेट मिला हुआ है? he has been given or granted the doctorate from Vishwesvaraya Technological University. Okay, it is Vishwesvaraya Technological University. बट फ्रेंड्स यहाँ से हमारे लायक क्वेश्चन क्या है? हमारे लायक, हाँ ये अभिराम यू आर करेक्ट. तो फॉर यूएस इट इज जीपीएस. what are the different navigation systems in the world? For US it is GPS. For Russia it is GLONASS. For next, right, Galileo and Baidu. Okay, you are correct. Okay, acha, from this question you see which university has granted this doctorate to K Sivan? Vishwesvaraya Technological University. But do you know who was M Vishwesvaraya? M Vishwesvaraya कौन थे? Okay, please have a search. Who was this person whom we called M Vishwesvaraya? All right. Next one. Now, which actor has been conferred with the Aditya Vikram Birla Kala Shikhar Puraskar? तो ये एक्टर कौन है? सीधा सा क्वेश्चन है. Okay, there is nothing more in it. So the actor is Nasiruddin Shah. He is Nasiruddin Shah, who has been granted with Aditya Vikram Birla Kala Shikhar Puraskar. Okay. Next. Now, SpaceX, along with NASA and which space agency, has launched the Sentinel-6 Michael Ferlich mission from its Falcon 9 rocket. Okay. तो अब ये कौन सा स्पेस एजेंसी है? It is European Space Agency. That means SpaceX, along with NASA and European Space Agency, that is acronymed as ESA, has launched Sentinel-6 Michael Felich mission from its Falcon 9 rocket. Okay, next one. According to worldwide cost of living annual report from the Economist Intelligence Unit, which city has topped the list of most expensive cities in 2020? Friends, this is going to be a very important question. Which is the most expensive city in the world? Okay, so let's check the answer. What is the answer? It is Hong Kong, which is the most expensive city in the world. It is Hong Kong. And friends, if you remember, where is Hong Kong? If you have the atlas, right? Yes, M. Vishwesvaraya was an economist. Okay, so search about him a bit more. All right. So ये जो city है Hong Kong. All right. Of course, it is a independent territory in China. All right. तो हांगकांग के बारे में थोड़ा एक बार सर्च करिएगा. व्हाट इज द पॉलिटिकल एंगल ऑफ हांगकांग? ओके, yes, of course it is in China. So it is the world's most expensive city, remember. All right. Now, which company chaired the 15th G20 Leaders Summit virtually? Yes, G20 के बारे में क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं, तो आपको इसके बारे में आइडिया होना चाहिए. ऑल राइट, विच अब कोरोना के लिए तो अभी दिस समिट्स आर हेल्ड वर्चुअली. ओके, so but there is a host country. तो ये host country कौन सी थी? Right, this time it was Saudi. Right, it was Saudi which hosted. It was Saudi which hosted the G20 Leaders Summit virtually. All right. Now, what is the theme of the Bengaluru Tech Summit 2020 held digitally this year? All right. तो इसका थीम क्या था? नेक्स्ट इज नाउ. बड़ा ना कैची सा स्टेटमेंट है. नेक्स्ट इज नाउ. Government of India sanctioned how much loan amount for micro irrigation projects in the state of Tamil Nadu? Okay. Now friends, I'll give you a homework here. ये होमवर्क क्या है? टेक इट एज अ होमवर्क. इरिगेशन के दो टाइप हैं. एक हो गया मैक्रो, वी हैव मैक्रो इरिगेशन. नंबर 2 इज माइक्रो इरिगेशन. ऑलराइट. So friends, can you take it as a homework and make a difference between micro irrigation? What is the difference between micro and macro irrigation? All right. So अब ये कितने रुपए सैंक्शन हुए हैं फॉर दिस इरिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट? इट इज 3971 crore rupees. 397. Of course, after all it is just a mere digits. Okay, so इसको याद रखना important है. 3971 crore rupees. Now, where is India's first moss garden being developed? Okay, अब ये moss क्या है basically? Right, what is this moss? Moss is just a kind of a vegetation. All right, remember. So India's first moss garden has been developed at Khurpatal in Nainital district of Uttarakhand. Okay, so the main aim behind developing the garden was to conserve the various species of moss and other bryophytes. Okay, so moss is just a kind of a vegetation which will be developed. अब ये moss garden जो है ये कहाँ पर develop होगा? It is in the Khurpatal. This is in Uttarakhand, remember. Okay, Nainital district of Uttarakhand, right? हाँ, yes, अभिराम, you are correct. G20 का जो समिट है इन 2021, yes, you gave the entire exhausted list of it. 20 से 2021 से लेकर 24 तक कौन कौन इसको होस्ट करेगा? ये दैट्स करेक्ट. ओके, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर द इंफॉर्मेशन. द नेशनल बैंक फॉर एग्रीकल्चर एंड रूरल डेवलपमेंट. ओके फ्रेंड्स, सी दिस इज ए क्वेश्चन. बार बार ये पूछते हैं व्हाट इज द फुल फॉर्म ऑफ नाबार्ड. तो कीप इट इन माइंड. तो नाबार्ड का फुल फॉर्म क्या हो गया? नेशनल बैंक फॉर एग्रीकल्चर एंड रूरल डेवलपमेंट has sanctioned over 74 crore for the construction of 6 new roads and improvement of 24 existing roads in which state? All right, so ये कौन से स्टेट के लिए पैसा दिया है इसने? It has been granted for Meghalaya. Okay, friends, can you take Meghalaya as a homework? Can you take Meghalaya as a homework, which is called the land of waterfalls? Pardon me if I am wrong. It is Meghalaya. All right. So which is called the land of waterfalls, highest waterfall in India. Okay, so different types of waterfalls. So Meghalaya. All right, so talk about it, think and search of different aspects of Meghalaya. In November, RBI imposed a penalty of 1 crore rupees on Punjab National Bank. when it observed that the bank was operating a bilateral ATM sharing arrangement with which bank without RBI's approval. Okay, मतलब according to the banking norms in India, whenever you are doing any changes in your banking structure, you have to take the consent of RBI. ओके, टेक द अप्रूवल ऑफ द आरबीआई। तो बिना आरबीआई के अप्रूवल के इस बैंक ने क्या किया, किसी और बैंक के साथ क्या किया था, व्हाट इज द टर्म, उसने बाइलैटरल एटीएम शेयरिंग अग्रीमेंट कर रखा था। ओके, सो इट वाज ड्रूक पीएनबी बैंक, इट वाज ड्रूक पीएनबी बैंक लिमिटेड, जिसके साथ इसने क्या किया था, देयर वाज ए ऑपरेटिंग बाइलैटरल एटीएम शेयरिंग अग्रीमेंट। मतलब they could interchangeably use each other's ATMs, राइट। तो फॉर दैट 1 करोड़ रुपए का फाइन हो गया था कि पंजाब नेशनल बैंक को, राइट। नाउ व्हेन डिड एयरपोर्ट्स अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया कमेंस्ड एविएशन सेफ्टी अवेयरनेस वीक। ओके फ्रेंड्स, वी मे बी नोइंग अबाउट एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया। तो ये जो एविएशन सेफ्टी अवेयरनेस वीक है, ये इट विल बी हेल्ड फ्रॉम 23 to 27 November. Okay, so this is the week, so 23rd to 27th November. But from this side, what we can take? Number one, एयरपोर्ट्स अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया के अंडर में हाउ मेनी international airports are there in India? That's question number one. Number two, what is this DGCI? DGCA, ये DGCA क्या है? Okay, so get a note of it. All right. Now, what is the theme of National Pharmacy Week? What is the theme of National Pharmacy Week 2020? All right. ये नेशनल फार्मेसी वीक जो है, इसका थीम क्या है? राइट, व्हाट इज द थीम? इट इज फार्मासिस्ट फ्रंटलाइन हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स, फार्मासिस्ट फ्रंटलाइन हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स। so this is the theme of national pharmacy week. All right, so next one, what is the theme of World Heritage Week 2020? वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज वीक 2020 का थीम इस बार का क्या है? You have the 4 options in front of you, right? So it is shared cultures, thread heritage, shared responsibility. It's option B, which is the correct answer. Okay, this is the correct answer. You can see shared cultures, thread heritage, shared responsibility. Okay, yes. DGCA, अभिराम, DGCA के बारे में थोड़ा और डिटेल मुझे चाहिए. Okay, what DGCA does in India? All right, can it regulate drones, unmanned aerial vehicles in India? That is what I mean to convey you. All right. Next, Ashish Roy, who passed away recently, was from which profession? Ashish Roy, perhaps you know it. Ashish Roy was basically an actor, popular TV actor Ashish Roy. Next, Vishwa Mohan Badola, who passed away recently, was related to which profession? Okay, so we have obituaries section right now. So Vishwa Mohan Badola was an actor. Okay, Vishwa Mohan Badola was an actor as well. Netflix original series Daily Crime, which bagged the best drama series honor at the 48th International Emmy Awards, was directed by whom? Okay, Daily Crime was directed by whom? So this is one of the options. Okay, so it was Richie Mehta. This was actually directed by Richie Mehta. So here is the option. Delhi Crime was directed by Richie Mehta. All right. Next one. What is the theme of International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women? Right. What is the theme of it? Now you should know when it is celebrated or observed. International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women. So it is observed on 25th of November, and the correct answer is Orange the World, Fund, Respond, Prevent and Collect. Okay, it is 25th of November when it is observed. It is 25th of November, and the theme is Orange the World, Fund, Respond, Prevent and Collect. Okay, now you should get what is the meaning of orange here. It's not a fruit here. Okay, what is the meaning of orange here? You should get it. Right? Football legend Diego Maradona, who passed away. See, he was a legend. As I say, he was a football legend who passed away recently. A very big news from football. You can expect this question in the exam. ये क्वेश्चन में, ये एग्जाम में ये क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, आने लायक क्वेश्चन है. ओके, मैराडोना के बारे में कौन नहीं जानता? हु पास्ड अवे, हेल्ड फ्रॉम विच कंट्री? सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है, राइट. ही वाज, जो फुटबॉल लवर्स हैं उनको पता होगा, राइट. ही वाज फ्रॉम अर्जेंटीना. अर्जेंटीना इज सदर्न अमेरिकन country. Okay, he passed away at the age of 60. Ahmed Patel, who passed away recently, was a Ahmed Patel, who passed away recently was a politician. Okay, Ahmed Patel. पॉलिटिक्स में जिसको इंटरेस्ट है वो उनको पता होगा, आई होप. अहमद पटेल वाज ए पॉलिटिशियन हु पास्ड अवे रिसेंटली. ऑल राइट. यस, संबित, यू आर करेक्ट. अर्जेंटीना कहाँ पर है? अर्जेंटीना है साउथ अमेरिकन कंट्री एक है. ओके, व्हाट इज द कैपिटल ऑफ अर्जेंटीना? थोड़ा एक बार सर्च करके मुझे बताइए, व्हाट इज द कैपिटल ऑफ अर्जेंटीना? Now, fixed line users will have to add a zero before dialing any mobile number in the country of from which date. ओके, मतलब जो फिक्स्ड लाइन यूजर्स हैं, मतलब जो लैंडलाइन यूजर्स हैं, केबल लैंडलाइन यूजर्स हैं, उनको अब से कॉल करने से पहले अपने डिजिट के पहले, मोबाइल नंबर से पहले जीरो ऐड करना पड़ेगा. मतलब इट यूज्ड टू बी अ प्रैक्टिस अर्लियर, बट अभी फिर से चालू किया गया है, राइट. सो दिस वुड बी hmm. Okay. So this answer is January 15, 2021. January 15, 2021. All right. Yes. Capital of Argentina, Buenos Aires. All right. Next. Now, which state government launched three mobile phone based application for benefit of the general public to reach out to the state's fire and rescue services when in need? ऑलराइट. सो अब ये जो स्कीम है, ये किसने निकाला? ये स्कीम है, राइट. दिस हैज, इट्स तमिलनाडु व्हिच हैज कम आउट विद दिस. ओके, आंसर इज तमिलनाडु. ओके, नेक्स्ट वन. नाउ which tiger reserve has bagged the first ever international award TX2 or T into 2 for doubling the number? It's actually T into 2, T cross 2, doubling the number of tigers in 4 years against a target of 10 years. तो किस टाइगर रिजर्व ने अपने टाइगर्स के नंबर्स को डबल कर दिया विद इन 2 years in 4 years, okay, instead of 10 years? So what is the answer? It is the Pilbhit Tiger Reserve. Okay, Pilbhit Tiger Reserve. So just tell me one thing, where is this Pilbhit Tiger Reserve located? ये Pilbhit Tiger Reserve जो है ये कहाँ पर located है? Okay, so search and tell me. Now which dictionary has named quarantine as the word of the year 2020? Friends, इस तरह के क्वेश्चन बड़े ही कॉमन होते हैं. You can expect this question. Quarantine was the word of the year. That means a word which is generally used for the maximum number of times in a year, उसको word of the year बनाया जाता है. Every year it is done so. कभी एक टाइम में selfie was the word of the year. At one point of time, perhaps it was 2015, जब selfie को बनाया गया था word of the year. In that year, selfie was used for the most number of time. तो इस साल वो word कौन सा है? वो word है quarantine. So quarantine has been made the word of the year by the Cambridge Dictionary. By the Cambridge Dictionary. Okay, you should search for the Oxford Dictionary word of the year. Okay, no, it is Cambridge Dictionary. All right, it's not Oxford. Next, Achyuta Samanta has been elected as the president of which organization? Right. So Achyuta Samanta, the founder of KIT, he has been made the president of the Volleyball Federation of India. Okay, Volleyball Federation of India. That's a great honor for a Odia person. All right. Next, United Nations humanitarian chief released how much amount for its emergency fund to support women-led organizations that prevent and respond to gender-based violence? Okay, so how much amount has been devoted for it? Right, it is 25 million US dollars. It is 25 million US dollars. Okay, is 25 million US dollar. Next, Canara Bank, Axis Bank, and which Indian Bank and which other bank have acquired 6.67% stake in each in financial technology firm IBBIC at 10 per equity share for cash consideration of 5 lakh each. ओके, तो इसका आंसर क्या हो जाता है? इसका आंसर हो जाता है डी, इट इज साउथ इंडियन बैंक. ओके, इट इज साउथ इंडियन बैंक. ऑलराइट, लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट वन. Now, 23 rare medicinal plants of which state have been listed as endangered on the IUCN list? See friends, IUCN list is a very extensive list, right? So it actually places all those plants and animals which are endangered. Okay, so it's a very important list. So take it as a homework. What is this IUCN? All right, such basic details regarding it. When talking about the answer, अब ये IUCN वाले लिस्ट में कौन से स्टेट के ये जो प्लांट से इनको लिस्ट किया गया है? दिस इज फ्रॉम द स्टेट ऑफ कर्नाटका. Okay, if you see Karnataka, why Karnataka? Why? What is the reasoning behind that? Because if you see, if this is a map of India, in India, Karnataka में क्या है? We have the Western Ghat region. Of course, ये Western Ghat region extend करता है, but कर्नाटका में एक biological hotspot है. Okay, the Western Ghat region का. So that is why यहाँ से कर्नाटका के कम से कम 23 रेयर मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स को IUCN के endangered लिस्ट में डाल दिया है. Okay, so you should know it that Karnataka lies in a hotspot region, right, where you will find majority of plants and animals which are endangered. Okay, and then the last question of the class. Now, which state government has launched WhatsApp helpline number this for women in distress in the state? The state is Goa. All right, Goa. So Goa के Chief Minister Pramod Sawant. All right, who is the governor of Goa? That you have to understand. All right. So with this, friends, we have come to the end of this session. Thank you so much for your patient participation. I hope you are preparing well. Right. The preparation for a competitive exam is a continuous process. इसमें कोई break नहीं होता है, कोई holiday नहीं होता है. Right. Today, many of our friends have not joined today. क्योंकि I thought they think that it is a Sunday, it's a holiday. But friends, remember, competitive preparation में किसी तरह का holiday नहीं होता है. All right, unless and until you get it, you cannot stop anywhere. All right. So friends, let's wind up the class. Okay, and I hope you enjoy your Sunday. Okay, bye bye all. Thank you, Abhiram, for joining. Okay, bye bye.